Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and welcome to week 3 of the Divas Color Cube Challenge. And it's hosted by Rama, and I'll have a link in the description of how you can access her YouTube channel and her Facebook page, where she provides the colors for each week. And on Sundays is when she gives them out. And then you have all week long to, she does 5 cards. So this week or today, I'm using Color Cube 9, I think it's 929. If not, I'll put it up on the screen. And this is like a lime juice themed shaker card. So, and I'm trying to make sure that I got things as close to the color as possible. So hopefully I did. All right, so here I am. I'm using a Sweet Summer Lemonade, which is a digital kit, 2 digital kits actually. One of them's an ephemera sheet, and then the other one is a background paper kit, and they're all free. They're on my Ko-Fi if you're interested in it. And I didn't use all the pages, but I did go ahead and print them out. It's just a little 5-page digital, and I printed it out. The ephemera sheet I printed out on cardstock and on transparency film, and I did that because I needed to have the front part of it for the shaker. And so here I am. I'm going through and all of my little elements and things. I went on ahead and took an Indie ink marker and, went on ahead and colored around them. And then I'm adding my glossy accents around some of the stuff that I'm going to be using on this little shaker tag. So I let everything dry for probably at least at least 2 to 3 hours, because you want to make sure it's not tacky or anything. And then here I am. I just took some Tim Holtz paper and I needed some cardstock to match. And I just got a little piece that's roughly about 3 1/4 inch by 2 inches. And I'm just drawing some lines, and I'm using a combination of my ruler and my glass mat, because it kind of helps me line everything up somewhat decently, because it already has like a graph on there, and I like that. So I can kind of line my paper up horizontally and vertically to make sure that, and then put the ruler up against those lines as well. And it helps me get like straight lines and stuff like that. So basically I'm just drawing in like a 1/4 inch around all 4 sides. And you'll see here, which I was originally just going to eyeball it using the marks that I had put on there. But to me, the marks weren't quite adequate, so that's why I decided to erase it. And then I'm just going around the mason jar. Now you don't have to do this. You don't have to draw around the mason jar. You can actually omit that step. This right here is when I was first trying to come up with my little cube, I guess you could call it, the part that I'm going to be having as the backdrop, where I put all my stuff in for the shaker. So because it's kind of like it's like a little mini box in a way, and you'll see it here in a little bit. So like I said, basically it's a 1/2 inch going around the jar. It's what the shape of it is, and you'll score it at a 1/4 inch. So 2 1/4 inches, which is a 1/2 inch basically. And like I said, I use my glass mat and the ruler, and I'm just lining the ruler up at a 1/4 inch. And then I had to put that extra line on there too, because I want to cut it out. And you'll see me right here. I'm getting ready to cut out this little box, or template, I guess you could call it. And it's a whole lot easier if you just go ahead and score it and then fold it. But yeah, I don't do things easily. I have scoring boards, but I didn't break it out. I just folded it over on the line, and just making sure that it's where I need it to be. You want to be careful that you don't like fold too far into it and then get into the jar, like I kind of did a little bit, because then it made the jar kind of, when I went to go put the jar inside, which you'll see further along, it kind of made it awkward. And it didn't really fit quite as good. So I basically distressed everything, my little mason jar and the lines and stuff inside the template. And so I'm just getting ready to glue this background on here. This is the one that I added the glossy accents to. So I'm putting it in the back. So see how, if you look carefully, you can kind of see how the size of the mason jar is slightly bigger than the lines. So you just have to be careful, especially when you're folding it over. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut down at the bottom on each end. You're going to take a piece off each edge. And you only need the inner part of the flap. And you see right here where I'm folding it over. And then that smaller part, okay, that goes to the back. The flap goes inside to the back, the way I just did that right there. And you're going to see, like, you see me folding it inward, but before it's over with, I'm going to be folding it outward. So, like I said, this was in the process of me trying to figure out how to make it, because at first I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to cover up this jar, but I'm covering up too much of the jar. So I decided to flip it going outward instead of inward, and you'll see in just a minute. So right here is where I'm cutting. Like I said, you only needed just the inner flaps where I just cut at. You're just going to glue that to that bottom portion of the 1/4 inch, because the upper part's going to get folded out, which I'll show you in just a second. So you go ahead and glue those on there on the bottom part, and you're just going to fold that out. See how I just folded that out instead of in. At first I was doing it inward, but I need to do it outward. And now I'm just getting ready to take some double-sided I forgot what it's called, dimensionals or whatever it's called. And if you don't have those, you really don't have to use those. You could actually just use double-sided tape. I don't even know why I even decided to use the dimensionals. Really, I should have just used double-sided tape or even just glue, because that would have worked too. But here I am, because I have some really thick dimensionals. So I just cut them in half and went on ahead and took the back sides off of them. And I'm putting them on here. And I'm getting ready to fill it up with some of the insides, like the sequins and just different things like that. But before I do that, I forgot that I decided to take that lemon, because remember the digital was based off lemons, but the colors in the color cube had green and no yellow at all. So I was like, well, you know what? We can make some lime juice. So that's how I came up with the lime juice instead of the lemonade, so here I am. I took some of that embossing enamel or whatever that is from Tim Holtz, and I'm turning this lemon into a lime, and I'm putting it in there, and I'm just adding my little straw. And I had issues with my glue. I don't know what it is with this art glitter glue, but yeah, it does what it wants to do when it wants to do it. So, but yeah, I decided when I glued that straw in there, I wanted to leave part of it coming out. So we added our little ice cubes that had the glossy accents, and I'm just coming through and I'm just adding some of these little glass beads with the different colors that are in the color cube, along with some of these sequins. I'm trying to shape up the thing. So now here's where I printed out the transparency film. So what I did before, I didn't want to cut it too small. So I decided I was going to first go ahead and line it up, the transparency film with the cardstock, and then cut out the size that I need, because I have a tendency to cut things either too small or too big. So I was just like, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it to the shape that I need after it's already glued on there. So that's what I did. I glued it first and then cut later. So, all right. So now we've got the shaker part of our card, and you want to make sure that everything's glued down really, really well, and double check it, before you start your assembly. All right. So now we need a frame to go over it, which is like 2.5 inches by 4 inches. And we're going to be cutting the center at like 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. The the way I did it, everybody does theirs differently. Let's see. Is I just took some ink and put it on the back of the shaker. And you don't have to use ink. You could actually just, you'll see in a second the option of what you can do. But what I did, I just went around the back of it like that. And then I tried to center it and place it against the cardstock. That way the ink could rub off against it onto the cardstock and I'd know where to cut it at. But the way I play, it looks like I had it on there even, but I didn't. It was kind of off-centered. So, but I still use that as like a guide. And basically what I did was wherever the ink was on the cardstock, I lined wherever it looked like it was like centered the most is where I started. I lined up my the piece of the paper trimmer, and then that's where I started to cut at and stop at. And you'll see right here, I just kind of lined it up with the blue and line my paper trimmer, and then just kind of cut down. And then I did that for all 4 sides until I had it completely cut out. Because me and measurements, I don't like measuring. I need to, but I don't like to. It's just, I don't know. It just takes too much time. But yeah. Okay, so now we have our little frame. And I'm just getting ready to distress it. Yeah. Using the blue and some of the brown. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and glue this frame on the front. Just to kind of cover up the, what do you call it? The dimensionals or whatever. Yeah. So. And I've actually got some frames, some actual shaker domes, basically this size. I could have made my life a whole lot easier if I would have just used them, but you know, like I said, gotta make my life hard. So anyway, it's still fun. Just that way, I just wanted to show you that you can use what you have. You don't really have to go buy anything. You can use any kind of cardstock or whatever you have, you know. So, and I wanted my straw to show through. So, if you notice, I turned it over to the back because I was hesitant at first, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let this straw show. So I'm trying to cut it to where it's not like, oh, like where I messed the paper up. But I did have to kind of hide it. At first I was getting ready to cut off this little top piece, but I was like, no, I think I better leave it. So I'm just cutting it down. I'm trying to realign everything and make sure everything was together. So now I'm piecing together the different stuff. Here I wanted to have different color layers of stuff. So I'm just coming through and I'm just randomly just creating like little, not deckled edges, but I just wanted to have like little decorations, little bottoms. I've got hope edge punches, but they're in storage. So I just use what I had. So I used a hole punch. I folded it over, kind of cut it into the little circles and then, or half circles, and then used the hole punch to give it a shape, and then just kind of lined everything up to make it work. And then I'm going to take the hole punch to this one as well. And then I just start decorating. So this is pretty much it right here. And we have our little dangle, and I have the little handmade ephemera buttons and things like that. I just use a little bowl pin to hang it up along with one of the charms. And here's the inside pieces of our shaker. We got a little ice cubes, we have a lime, we have the straw, and the little sequins and stuff like that. I like little shakers. I think they're fun. They can be time consuming, but if you plan it right, unlike how I did it, things work out pretty good. And here's our little lemon. It is a lemon, but I tried to turn it into a lime since I was trying to match everything with the colors. And then on our little dangle, we have our little green leaf and a little flower and stuff like that. And on the back is where I store our little color cube colors for this challenge. And then we tried matching it up. And so far, I think I can't see what that color is from here. Whatever that bottom one is, I tried matching it up too. So it kind of looks more bluish than anything, but it's close enough. The little sequins are also in there too. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check my other videos and blog. And thanks for watching.